I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Do you agree with Jefferson's views on free speech?
Yes. Jefferson fully believes in free speech and believes that every man should have the right to the First Amendment. And I remember once he said, to preserve the freedom of human mind and freedom of press, every spirit should be ready to devote itself to martyrdom, for as long as we may think and as long as we may speak and think, the condition of man will proceed in improvement.
Thank you.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Who has the better French versus British policy?
I think Jefferson does because he believes and supports the French because, for many reasons, like one, because they helped us during the war. The French has a better philosophy of government, and when Jefferson created or helped create our government, he used a lot of French philosophy. And also the French Revolution started ideas against absolute monarchy and aristocratic government. And Hamilton wants to be with the British and have close ties with them. But last time we were with the British didn't end up too well. And Jefferson was in France during the French Revolution, and that's where he began to like the French way of government.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
What do you think about the Alien and Sedition Acts?
I think the acts are just another way that Hamilton is trying to get all the power into the central government, because the acts only go against indirectly followers of Jefferson because they're against the immigrants, and they're also unconstitutional because they're inflating the presidential power. And they want to go against the immigrants because they know that most immigrants are going to vote for Jefferson, and so they're doing it in spite of them to get them out of the country to lose his votes. And so this just shows political repression and goes against the Constitution in another way because the Constitution was made to give our country equality and take power away from the central government and let the states have more responsibilities, but it's just filtering all the power back to the central government and making it more likely to have a repeat of our government with the British.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
So, what do you think of Hamilton's views on the national debt?
Well, Hamilton thought they were greedy members of Congress, and Hamilton led people to believe he was a great commander-in-chief when he really just made poor people, he made them poorer. What do you think of Jefferson's views on the assumption of state debt?
Well, the assumption took all the money Hamilton could get from the people, and he was spending it, and he said he was like spending it on the general good when he really wasn't, and no one could prove he was spending it on the general good anyway. What do you think of Jefferson and Hamilton's views on national debt?
Well, Hamilton's plans exclude popular understanding and opinion, and Hamilton is not letting people make as much as they should from their post-war inheritances. But Jefferson is just trying to get people to completely support the new regime.
I agree.
Yep.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Excuse me, what do you think about Jefferson's opinions of the Whiskey Rebellion?
Well, I think he was right because he said it gives too much power to the government by creating the tax. It also the tax ruins the value of the revolution, and it now creates hatred towards the government because everyone hates the tax, which is causing it to become like our old government where everyone despised the government and all the taxes. So I think he had a good opinion on it by not liking it.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Excuse me, how do you feel about the Virginia and Sedition Acts?
I agree with the acts because I believe it's a way of Jefferson and Madison repealing the Sedition Act, which all of us anti-federalists opposed. And it's another way that Jefferson gave more power to the states and just showed that he trusted in us, unlike Hamilton. And he showed this because he depended on state legislators and he discouraged violence, and he just really thought we should hold all the power that the Constitution didn't directly outline for the Congress. And I just thought that was a good way of him completely living directly to the Constitution's laws and not veering away from it, which he said would give too much power to the Federalists.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Excuse me, what do you think about Jefferson?
I like Jefferson because he believes in a government close to the people, and that the state government should govern the home concerns, and the federal government should be concerned about the foreign affairs, which I like. He also believes that because the states are free, they should be able to govern themselves with their own state governments. He also has trust in the people, and that's why he believes in a strong state government, because he believes the people can do good.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
And what do you think of religion?
Well, I liked his views on religion because he believed in freedom of religion, and he was a free thinker. And I also liked him because he was a strong supporter of separation of church and state, and he believed that they would be better off if they weren't influencing each other.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Excuse me, can you tell me your opinions on Jefferson?
Well, I favor Jefferson because he opposed the Jay's Treaty, and because he believes it was like a violation of American rights, and it was used for like more centralized single rulers and commercial interests, and he understood that this would be like a downfall of democracy.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
Excuse me, what do you think about Jefferson?
Oh, well, I like Jefferson because he identifies himself with the people. He has confidence in the people and respects us and respects the public interest as well. He treats the common man as equality, not as an inferior. He believes when people are well informed, they can be trusted to participate in the government. I don't like Hamilton because he likes a distant central government. And overall, I like Jefferson because he is more affiliated with the people.
Thank you.
I'm Thomas Jefferson, and I approve this message.
I trust Jefferson because he is very truthful to the Constitution, and unlike Hamilton, he actually wants to give us powers, and Hamilton doesn't trust us at all. And he believes that things such as the National Bank should be the power of the state. And because Hamilton wants to give all the powers to Congress, but Jefferson explained that if you give powers to Congress that aren't perfectly outlined in the Constitution, then they're going to think they can step outside the Constitution as much as they find necessary, as it says in the Elastic Clause, but something as a national bank isn't completely necessary for our nation.